Welcome to the Joyous Kingdom. We're going to be doing a NFT beginner Q&A style video. I'm back at the MTC podcast in New Jersey. I'm here for NFT NYC. Figured I would drive a couple hours and check out the MTC podcast, see what's good here. So we have Mark, as we had from the first episode.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, bro.
This is amazing.
Hell yeah. Well, we're going to get right into it. So we appreciate you guys being in here. Subscribe to the channel for all NFT, crypto, business-related content, lifestyle. Even we're going to come and vlog out for the NFT NYC. Entire thing is going to be super fun. If you're not following me on Twitter, if you're not, my Discord down below in the description. You are only hurting yourself, fam. As you know, the goal of this channel is to instill the knowledge and confidence it's going to take to navigate this metaverse on your fucking own. When that sounds good to you, let's get into the video.
All right, so things are screwed. NFTs crashed, and so I'm gonna guess it was a total sham. Is it all over now? Is everything done?
Damn, dude. NFTs. Oh, the NFT bear market, the recession.
Oh, no.
I think one thing that everyone, all the big influencer people have kind of hit on this, and I think it's almost not common knowledge, but a lot of people have kind of accepted this, that the recession, the entire market's down. It's not just NFTs, and it's easy to go out and blame NFTs, blame Web3, blame crypto, and say it was a scam, that's why it's going down. The reality is everything's going down. Now, yes, in the riskiest asset, the riskiest form of asset is going to be crypto and NFTs, so no doubt those are going to take the biggest hit because there's no reason to put your money into something that is so high risk in a market that's already inherently high risk right now. So you're going to see a lot less volume. We've seen the volume trickle down ever since that last bull run at the beginning of the year that got so many people into the space. But for now, NFTs, as far as trading and gambling, I think those days are not over, but the chance of you getting that are exponentially lower than they already were, and they were already really low. So if you're looking to gamble and NFTs is your way of gambling, it is not a smart move in my opinion. So
are there still opportunities to make money in NFTs?
There's definitely opportunities to make money in NFTs. I would say the big one that people have made money on during the bull markets is going to be the flipping. But the flipping, that world is not completely over, but it's basically over, like I said in the first question. So what you really should be focusing on in these next few months, next couple years, is going to really just be getting acclimated to the space and networking as much as you can. If you're here at NFT NYC, talking to as many people as you can. I've actually been shocked at the level of conversation that I've had. I don't know. I've gotten used to the Discord degenerate conversation we have in there. Just bullshit. You go in there and you say some stupid things. They say like, wow, and you react to the emojis, and that's pretty much it. But the coolest thing is, like, there's some really, really dope people here in NFTs. And even if you were here 6 months ago, the entire space has changed tremendously. The types of people who are in here are a lot more legit. There's still bullshit everywhere. Don't get me wrong, but there's a lot more legit people. There's massive companies coming into this space. So what I would be doing is setting up my resume, if you could say that, working on my soft skills a lot, and just networking. The amount of connections I've made they don't know how many subscribers I have. They don't know how well I'm in the space. They don't really care about any of that stuff. It's just about vibes. So making good connections with a lot of people in Discords, being helpful where you can. I think being helpful in a general aspect actually is the biggest thing, because if you can be nice and you're helpful as fuck, that's something where people will just make a position for you. And especially in NFT projects, new ones and old ones, there are opportunities to work in them. You don't have to be a coder, you don't have to be a smart contract developer who understands how to read all these things and see where the hacks are and stuff. There's plenty of positions on NFT teams, and if you can start making content, I always push on the content bandwagon because that's what I do. That's my passion for it. You don't have to make content, but I think you're a fool if you have something you know things about and you're not making content about it. Even if it's shitty content, it's just your phone, I think it's better to talk about those things, look at other projects and maybe audit them on camera. People are looking actively right now for help, especially in NFT projects right now. The market's down. They're either dipping and they're going to take your money and run as a rug pull, or they're going to double down and say, we need to fucking take advantage of this. We've got some money in the treasury still. We want to make this work. So just figuring out ways you can actually get back is going to be huge.
So specifically speaking about, survival, will NFTs survive everything that's going on right now?
Damn, that's a good question. The NFT market, NFT projects in general, the big ones will do okay, I think. And in this recession that we're in, maybe we've been in it. Who knows if this is actually the recession? Could be. There's always a chance it goes right back up, and I think there will be pumps here and there. I think the pumps will be relative to where we're at, so it's going to feel like a big pump, but it's really in retrospect not a huge pump. But there'll be some projects that make it out. I'm very interested to see. I don't know if the right question really is which NFT project will survive. It'll be more like what is going on in NFTs, and then after that you're going to be looking at the big brands who are left who matter. And it's really like people say it's going to be like a small handful, but it truly is going to be a small handful. It's literally going to be like 5 or 10 at max, right? And there's hundreds coming out every day. Even now, there's still hundreds coming out. So it's going to be about IP. Whoever's got the biggest IP, and then using that IP to branch into other things. Like some people are going to build their IP so they can get inducted into a Fortnite game or something where they can kind of build that brand. People know about it. And then other than that, it's going to be utility-focused projects. I've had some really interesting conversations in New York with people who are bringing their Web 2, whatever, business into the Web3 space because of the opportunities and eyes who are here, the big time eyes, by the way. There's huge companies coming into NFTs and Web3, crypto, blockchain. They see the future. Right now, we're in the infancy stages. So right now, what you shouldn't really be focused on, in my opinion, is which ones to buy. I think if you like this shit, you should be looking to get into the world and not just be looking to stay on the outskirts and be like a little guy behind your screen trying to trade things, unless that's really your passion. I just think there's so much more opportunity here than just saying which elephant project's gonna pump. I just think it's a limited scope there, and I've seen a lot of that, and being here in NFT NYC has truly opened my eyes to the amount of people who are really interested in blockchain and Web3 as an industry.
So I know a lot of people are kind of like afraid to ask because you've heard the questions millions of times, and people keep beating it over and over again. And if you can, like for the final time, explain it again. Like, what is blockchain? Like, so because I know people are afraid to ask because they're embarrassed because it's okay, guys. Everyone knows it, but some people don't. Some people don't, and some people need a refresher. What is blockchain?
Blockchain. There's a lot of definitions out there, and there's a lot of different answers that people give. And truly, it is just like any other word. You don't actually need to know every single definition, every single application it could be. It is very, very simple in the sense that it is just on-chain verified transactions. It's just verified. You can't fake it because it's on the blockchain. It's there forever, meaning you can track every to and from that any interaction came from. So any kind of thing, like a purchase from a company, or if a company makes an NFT collection, you can always track back those assets all the way back in time, as far back as when it was created, and the genesis of that token, genesis of that business idea, whatever that thing it is on the blockchain. The blockchain is just a massive fucking digital receipt of everything.
So it kind of protects against like fraud and stuff.
It does its best. There's gonna be hackers everywhere. I'm sure there's ways to do it, and that's one of those things that it's tough because blockchain looks to solve that problem. I think there will always be a market for hackers and people figuring out bugs in the system. A lot of hacks happen not because they're good hacks, because it's just simple shit that people don't check. It's human error. And so I think we're moving into a world where things are more cyborg-like, where, you know, we've got someone who's here as a human, but then we have this automated thing that a machine does, and eventually AI and stuff. It just, to me, makes sense that the blockchain and Web3 world, the way I look at it, is we're just headed in a more technology-driven location, ecosystem, economy. And to me, that makes sense. The blockchain is where it's headed because they're already gonna, like, the automation and the AI technology is gonna just scan the blockchain. Like, that's all that's gonna happen. It's not gonna be me going through and saying, did this person pay this? Did this happen? Is this right? Was this faked? No, there's no chance of that happening. It's just gonna go through the system. It's gonna go boom, 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 yes. Or it's gonna say boom, boom, no. And I think that's a good way to explain it for a lot of people. It's tough in the job market to explain it because it doesn't exist yet. True blockchain, Web3 world industries aren't a thing yet. It's still in the infancy. All the jobs that are happening now are the ones that are trying to be at the forefront. And it's very important that people realize where we are at in the whole arc of where we are in NFTs. We're literally like etching the surface. Like, if this is the entrance, we're like here. We're literally like here. Like, we were here a few months ago, so you're still really early. But it's hard, you know what? Like, we're literally talking about concepts that aren't real at all, and they're not even remotely close. So,
well, that brings me into like stuff like Web3 and things. It's like, so I always ask this actually for a lot of people, like how you get started, how you get involved, where you begin, right? So when it comes to like things like Web3, things that we don't really know yet, NFTs, which you know a lot about, anything that's any kind of jobs, anything with the kind of skills you have, any of the specifics, how do you get started?
Yeah, with Web3 specifically, it's the weird thing is, it's nothing different than you would normally have. The only difference between like the Web 2 world and the Web 3 world is people prioritize soft skills a little bit more than the harder skills as prior to before. Like, for example, you go into a job interview, and a lot of the companies are really only concerned with what you can physically do for them right there. Like, hey, figure out this problem. Tell me exactly how you'd solve it. The Web3 world has a little bit more culture, like, baked into the ecosystem. So they want to like you. They actually care a little bit more about that, and that actually has a little bit more weight in the interview. So if you're making content, for example, and you're showing, hey, I know a little bit of stuff about this, but I really know how to teach it, and I don't actually need to know exactly how the coding works behind all these things, then really I believe the content world is big. I think because there's no barrier to entry, anyone can make content. It's the easiest one that comes to my mind. You can know a little bit about something, learn what you need to know, and be able to explain it. And while you're doing that, you're actually going to start learning, and the only way to fucking learn it is to be able to explain it and to do it on your own. So I love the content creation side. I think other than that, familiarizing yourselves with the apps and with the ecosystems and communities within the Web3 world. Right now in the infancy is TikTok. No, sorry. I guess a little bit of TikTok for content creation, but it's mainly gonna be Twitter and Discord. You guys already know TikTok. Sorry, fuck me. You guys already know Twitter and Discord are where people live on Web3 right now. Instagram's not it yet. Now, do I think Instagram's a good place to start? I still think you should be posting if you can. Right now, I'm in NFT NYC. I'm only posting on TikTok to save time. I usually re-upload everything to Instagram Reels. It just takes too long. I don't fucking have time for that. But right now, I think it really should be about establishing yourself on Discords and Twitters, going in and offering what you know about stuff, things you've noticed. But even if you don't know anything, ask the right questions and make those connections where you're like, oh, thank you so much for your help. And then you remember that name, you bring them up a little bit later. And I think my favorite part about Web3 is how much opportunity there is just by talking to people and being nice and being helpful. It's the weirdest shit in Web3. Like, people actually prioritize that. It's so weird. The amount of people who've gotten jobs and opportunities from being kind of good at some stuff, sort of, but then just being dope. It's wild, bro. It's literally wild.
So like the playing ground is Twitter right now for the most
Twitter,
part.
yeah, and then Discord's a little bit more niche down. It's like if you have a specific goal in mind, there's some Discords that are geared toward builders, or some like that are just focused on like people who are preventing hacks and stuff. Like there's Discords in there who are everyone in there is just for that reason. And Twitter's just like it's like a Facebook kind of thing. But I sort of look at Twitter sort of like as an early Facebook, where there's not that many people on it, but everyone who's in there like is there, and like they kind of know what's happening. So if you're on Twitter, like on NFT Twitter, there's a lot of beginners on there, but everyone's there with intention. They want to learn that shit. And so it's a fun place to be because everyone there is like ready to learn. And there's not really like dumb questions like that. People want to answer those dumb questions because, one, it makes them feel good, makes them stand out as someone who knows things. So like your weakness and your like L is someone else's dub, and they're not going to make you feel bad about that because we're so damn early that you can't make fun of people. It's like there's no reason to, because we want more people to be in. The more people that are in, the happier we are. And right, so it makes sense from like everyone's standpoint that even the big businesses that are coming in, they want more and more beginners in, because that just brings more eyes, that brings in more attention, more revenue for them, more money, which is probably their biggest thing for big companies. And then for influencer people, they just get more viewers. They don't give a fuck how dumb the question is. They get to remake that content. You guys saw the fitness content every single January. Top 10 foods to eat to lose weight in the new year. Like, they just make the same videos, but it's fun for them. They learn stuff every year. So, yeah.
So then cause you're saying a lot of people like they want new people in because it's part of the brand, it's part of the community. What's gonna happen to, you know, all these financial influencers, people like you, people that are focused on whether it's NFTs or crypto or even just stocks? What's gonna happen to people once, I guess, things flutter, or when people make predictions and calls? What's gonna happen to those people?
This is something I thought about from the very beginning of my channel, and one thing I noticed early on was like the alpha calls, the prediction calls are very temporary. It's a good way to build a little bit of brand early on. It's just very high risk in my opinion, and I'm not an expert in that kind of stuff. I'm not an expert. I didn't claim to be an expert on trading, so that's just not the kind of content I made. I knew at some point they're gonna have to pivot to content, and my goal was to get there early on the content they're gonna pivot to at some point, so I can already be that guy. And so that was my goal there. For the investing and YouTubers that are in that world, especially crypto, one thing that people thought was at some point crypto is going to be so big that there's not going to be as much opportunity. It's like people who trade stocks. They're excited if they get a 1% increase. They're like, oh my god, like Tesla's up 1%. They're like, fuck yeah. And like crypto is, if it's not 75%, they ain't happy. You know, they're not getting out of bed for anything under 75%. And it's been years, and people are still making crypto videos. So I don't actually think that the NFT world is over for flipping. I just think in the short term to midterm it might be, but I don't want people to think that you missed the boat. You missed the boat. Trading is not happening. People are trading cryptocurrencies every day and making ridiculous amounts of money. It's fucking hard, and you have to be well networked in the system and actually know what's going on to make those trades. You can't just show up and get lucky. It doesn't work. The 1% of people who get lucky, it's just not as many people as you think. Most people are getting unlucky. It's true. And with NFTs, those creators, I think they're just going to be one-dimensional creators. They're not going to particularly be able to do anything else other than make those videos. And I think secretly that all creators, no matter what their goals are, is is to grow a personal brand. I think that's what they all want to do. They want to be able to make a video about what they're passionate about and have people care about that. And right now, the only way to do that for them is to make those alpha calls. So for those YouTubers, I think 75% of them die. I've already seen about 25% of them die. They're going to come back when the market comes back. And, that's fine, but it's going to be the same people coming back. It's going to be all those 15-year-old kids. And I don't know, that's just not longevity. I don't see longevity there.
So you're like planning for that. You're protecting yourself by knowing what you want. You want that personal brand, right? So then where do you fit in? Like, what's your plan for Web3? Where's your future in that?
Yeah, my Web3 future, I always manifest this shit. It's time to I gotta knock Joe off, bro. Joe Rogan's gotta go. It's my time. It's my time. I'm coming for Joe Rogan's spot. And the only way to get there, because I asked myself the same question about 2 years ago when I started podcasting, was I want to be, at that point, I was like, I want to be on Impulsive. I want to be on Logan Paul's podcast, and I want to be on Gary Vee's podcast. I want to be on and I was like, how am I going to get there? And I said, okay, well, they're not going to interview me, so I'm not interesting. I'm not good at anything. I don't know anybody, and I haven't done anything. Why would they interview me? When that question popped up, I said, okay, I got to go do something. And that's why I went and traveled, made videos, documented. I was like, yeah, something's going to happen here, hopefully. If not, I tried, and I can at least make that into a story. And so for me, it's about taking chances. That's the whole brand behind the Joyce Game, taking chances on yourself, rolling the dice, seeing where it happens, where the cards line up after by doing things, and putting in effort, putting in results and effort. People see effort, and they respect it. There's no way to not respect effort. You can't. Like, even someone who says they don't, they secretly do respect the hustle. And anyone who hustles, forgive that fucking word. Everyone hates that. It's like a toxic word now, hustle.
Don't even get me started.
But the people who hustle respect other people who hustle. And so I want to be someone known for someone who put in the work and did the right things, leaned into what he was good at and applied it the right way, and helped push an industry in a way that was, for me at least, I think is sustainable, and I think is healthier. I think we can and should learn from history. I don't want a repeat of crypto. I don't want it to turn into just Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin, make money. I don't want it to be that. I don't think it needs to. I think the NFT culture is so unique in the sense that they have these avatars that are connected to everything, and it brings in the emotional side. And I just see the world of blockchain and NFTs being so much bigger than the crypto space. Crypto is just so one-dimensional, in my opinion. When I found NFTs, people don't know this. Well, some people do. I pulled out all of my money, 100% of my net worth gone, from my Roth IRA, from my stocks, from my investing, all my crypto. I pulled all of it away, stuck it into fiat, and bought ETH. And I played around in the sandbox, not the NFT sandbox, like the actual sandbox of life, and said, okay, here's my money. I'm going to see what happens with this, and I'm going to try, because I just believed in that world, and I thought there was something there, and it was like a gut feeling for me. And, it sort of worked out, I guess, in the end. As far as content, I probably didn't lose all that money, because I lost a lot of it. But that's just the way it is, and so I want to be remembered for someone who knocked Joe Rogan off the stage. I want to be number one. I want to get to the top of the NFT space, and then below past that motherfucker, fly through the crypto space within 2 months, and then go to the investing space, talk to some of those guys. And the key is, when you get to the top, you can now talk to the people on top everywhere else. If you're the guy or the girl at the top, you're the one who has a conversation with the other girl or guy at the top of this other industry. And that, to me, is how you slowly start to build up. Because who knows why, Joe Rogan has interviewed some, like, I feel like he's a good podcaster, but there's certain people where I'm like, why did Joe Rogan interview that guy? It should have been like a person who knows more, like someone who's more of an expert. But then people don't care about that. They like Joe. They respect Joe's hustle. They respect the work he puts in, the research he puts in.
They've earned his trust.
Yeah, so people want to talk to Joe. That's my goal. They want to talk to these fucking glasses. That should be their end goal.
Yeah.
So that's what I want.
That's cool. I like that, man.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Man.
Well, that was really good. That was that's intro to NFTs, guys. That was round 2. If you haven't seen round 1, I'm going to link that down below in the description. I just wanted to do a little bit of a Q&A video. I don't do Q&A videos that often for NFTs, even though I fucking should. They're just not that fun to film unless I have someone here filming with me and on a cool studio. So again, Mark, thanks for letting me come on here, dude.
What do you mean? This is your place. Thank you for letting me in.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Join the kingdom. Smash like in this video. If you like NFT and crypto, business, lifestyle content, you know where to go. Follow me on Twitter. Join my Discord down below in the description if you haven't already. If you're a business looking to integrate Web3 and NFTs, if you're an NFT project looking for a commission brilliance review, email me at joygeofficial@gmail.com. Until next time, continue on your Joyge, continue to learn, and be grateful you're alive watching this video. Bye.